Welcome YouTube. Time for another video. This is on Warhammer Fantasy. As you can see, had a lot of questions about magic and the magic phase. So this is going to be the official start of Q&A for fantasy, and I'll do them for 40K as I get, several questions about a similar subject. Anyways, let's get started. Okay, I get the main question from emails and posts. How much magic should I take? Well, in 7th edition, GW was going to try to tone down the magic phase. Well, with armies like the Demons, Dark Elves, which I play, High Elves, and the Vampire Counts, and Lizardmen, the magic phase is, if not anything, more powerful than ever. So, how much should you take? Well, I've got two theories on this, guys. I either go heavy magic, which is 8 to 10 casting dice. I really don't go above 10 because that's just a stupid amount and it can make for some unfun games. Or I will go anti-magic, which is just level 1s and Dispel Scrolls. Anyways, let's talk about the magic phase. And of course this is going to vary from where you play. But in our area here in Idaho, people like magic. So if you take no magic defense, unless you're playing a horde army or something, you're pretty crazy because you'll take some abuse in the magic phase. For me, if I go anti-magic, which means I'm going to run 1 or 2, probably 2 level 1 magic users with 2 to 3 scrolls and maybe 1 other magic item. But you're pushing 250 points or more just to shut down magic. But I like having at least minimum 4 Dispel dice and 2 scrolls. No matter what size game I play, even a 1500 point game, which means you don't get any Lord levels, I will take 2 scrolls. Because there are certain times you just cannot let whatever spell goes off. And there are some really nasty spells with the Warriors of Chaos, where your whole unit, I can't remember the name of it, where your whole unit can go away. The Vampires have one where every unit damage creates a spirit host, and then the Skaven level 25 or whatever is another wicked one. I haven't played against the new Skaven yet. But anyways, there are times that, you just have to, stop a spell. Alright, if you want to go heavy magic, how many should I have? Well, I like to take at least a Lord level magic user and at least 1 other level 2. So if you do the math, that's 4 for the Lord level, level 4, 2 for the level 2, and then 2 for your army. That gives you 8 casting dice. That doesn't count any other bound items. That makes a pretty good potent magic phase. You get up to 9 or 10, it's strong. If you get above that, you've got so many points in the magic phase that if you roll 1 or 2 miscasts and your phase ends, it could really hurt you because you've got so many points in there. And plus, it's not really a fun game. If you've got 12 or 14 casting dice and your opponent only has 3 or 4 Dispel, not really too fun of a game. So just keep that in the back of your minds, especially with the Vampire Counts out there, man. They can generate a lot of dice and they can recast theirs on 3s and 4s, and it just gets obscene. But that's typically what I like to do as far as, magic phase, how many dice. I don't like taking like a Lord level fighter and 2 level 2s because that's only 6 dice. You can roll 3 dice maximum. You may or may not get spells off. I mean, it could be fun, but they're costing you, those wizards are costing you so many points that I would rather have a fighty character on a mount of some kind than, a medium or mediocre magic phase. If you go heavy magic, you need to have practice at hiding your wizards, because if I get you into close combat and I have a choice of attacking a rank and file guy or a magic user, I'm going to direct my attacks at the magic user. They're usually toughness 3 with little to no armor. Yeah, no chaos, they're a little bit different. But typically you can take them out. And if I can weaken you in the magic phase, especially if you went heavy magic, then that just helps shift the power towards me. Any chance you get to shoot a magic user, if they're out in the open or not in a unit, do so. That will weaken his magic phase. If I'm going anti-magic, I don't really care that much about my magic users in the back. I will put them with some bowmen or a unit that may or may not get engaged. If there's enough woods or something, you can just hide them in the woods and just use their Dispel Scrolls if that's all they have. So that's that's sort of how you would work some of the anti-magic. Alright, that covers magic and anti-magic and a few things on lore. If you know you're facing dwarves, Bretonnians, chaos, then you know any army that has lots of armor and you have access to the lore medal, you are crazy if you do not take the lore medal. The lore medal will just open up these units and make your opponent cry. I take the lore medal every time. At least one of my wizards has that. If you know you're facing dark elves, and it's sort of iffy, but definitely vampires with the regeneration Drakenhof banner, take the lore of fire. Fire eliminates the regen ability. So if you can kill units or wounds, they don't get to regenerate these. So fire is another good situational lore to take. Lore of Heavens used to be the no-brainer, but they really toned down the Comet. Lore of Heavens is still good. It's situational, just depends, along with the other lores. My two favorite in the 8 that come in the main rulebook that you see in front of you is, like I mentioned, fire and metal. Those two are pretty rock solid. And then if you're lucky enough, your army will probably have its own lore. Like my dark elves have dark magic, Tomb Kings has their own magic, High Elves has their own magic, Skaven has theirs, etc., etc. Anyway, guys, this was just a quick video. I had several questions of how many dice do I take, or how many wizards do I take. Chaos is a little bit different. Their wizards can sort of fight. Not as good as a hero, of course, but better than a lot of unit champions, and they can wear armor. So their wizards are a little more durable. And I have found that wizard special characters, for the most part, are not worth their points. They are an absurd number of points that GW wants for a wizard. Like Malekith, yeah, sure, he's a level 4 wizard, and yeah, he's a fighty character, but over 600 points, he is not worth it. Not when one cannonball can just take him out. So anyways, this was a short video. If you guys have any questions or anything on Warhammer Fantasy, post them, send me an email, whatever, and if I get enough of them, I will respond with little short videos like this. Take care and enjoy.